Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, one day after a line of storms left behind significant damage and killed one person in Prestonsburg, we are watching for the possibility of more bad weather today. Chief Meteorologist Paige Noel is tracking the threat on this severe weather alert day. Paige?
Yeah, Steve, we are tracking that threat, and the kind of bad news is those stronger storms that's moved through today have really been over that same area. Good news, none of those have been severe, just on the stronger side. We'll go ahead and show you that right now. Pinpoint Doppler, you'll notice those stronger storms up into parts of Floyd County a little bit earlier. Now it's in Johnson into Martin County, maybe some of McGoffin County as well. We'll go ahead and zoom in on that area. You'll notice it's north of Prestonsburg, but Paintsville has been getting hit over the past hour. So we're seeing a pretty strong thunderstorm moving into the Flat Gap area, moving into Inez as well. So that area has just seen those stronger storms today, gusty winds. We've even had some pea-sized hail associated with these storms. Now, none of them have been severe warned, but definitely on that stronger side. So really over the past hour, you're actually notice these storms really dying down, especially down into the south, where I think we've seen a little bit more cloud cover today, which is why those storms have been dying down. You'll notice that here, satellite and radar over the past couple of hours, just that cloud cover really taking over good portion of eastern Kentucky. We know sunshine usually fuels these storms. We expected a little bit more sunshine today, didn't get that, so it's a little bit of some good news there. The Storm Prediction Center actually has just backed off of this moments ago. You can remember that line of that slight risk was really all the way down into the London area, so they have backed off of that, but that still includes Pikeville and includes areas of Floyd County, Johnson County, Martin County, really that area, even Wayne, Mingo, and Logue County, West Virginia. So we'll keep an eye on that over the next couple of hours or so. We are expecting more storms as we head into those overnight hours and a little bit into your Friday as well. We'll break down that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes. Steve.
All right, Paige, thank you. The cleanup continues this afternoon in Prestonsburg after a deadly storm tore through downtown yesterday. Trees were knocked down, buildings damaged, and one man died. WYMT's Connor James is in Prestonsburg now with the latest.
It was around 2:30 yesterday when those storms rolled through. The result is what the National Weather Service calls a downburst. Essentially, that means 70-mile-an-hour winds hit this area really hard. What you see behind me, this is the cleanup of the aftermath. The wind took the roof off the old Hawk Shop building and threw it into the street, crushing several cars. In one of the cars, 61-year-old Michael Coleman and his fiancee. They were right in the path of the roof. Other people who live around here say they were shocked to see this all happen. One man saying his building is actually right across the street from where this all happened.
So I started checking out the building, and when I got to the front of my building and looked out the window, that's when, to my surprise, there was a roof on the street. God help the family that has a loss.
We are told besides his fiancee, Coleman did have 2 kids. The building itself, it will be okay. It will still be going under renovations. We're told Mountain Comprehensive Care, who owns the building, actually hired a contractor to work and fix it. I'm in Prestonsburg. Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, we do not know funeral arrangements for Michael Coleman at this time. We'll have much more from Prestonsburg tonight at 6. Perry County law enforcement cracks down on stranded vehicles. Several found sitting along the roadways have been towed in an effort to show travelers it is a priority to keep the area clean. WYMT's Taylor Upchurch breaks down the pros and cons of leaving a vehicle behind.
We've all seen a similar sight. Maybe it's burned, possibly missing a few parts. Or maybe it runs just fine, but has sat along the roadway for quite some time.
You don't want to see a bunch of abandoned cars without the wheels on it sitting next to the roadway.
Perry County law enforcement is cracking down on abandoned cars. And neighbors, keep in mind, if a vehicle sits at the same spot on public property for 3 consecutive days, you can report the eyesore.
Some people's even made jokingly of it, well, we hate to see it go. It's like a fixture of the community, you know, like a landmark that they've been here so long.
Though it might seem easier to leave a car on the side of the road, officials say there are benefits for the driver who chooses to not leave their car abandoned.
You call most salvage yards, they will pay you if you've got title to recycle your vehicle. So it's actually something you can make money out of.
They can charge them certain fee, take them to scrapyard. This way we both sides happy, make money.
If a car is left behind, drivers will not face charges, but they should keep their wallet on hand. Expect to pay towing and storage fees. If the vehicles are stolen, more bills add on.
People will vandalize them, causing the owner that much more property. So the quicker you can get these vehicles off the roadway, the better for the owner and for everybody involved.
Not wanting to appear as a county that has given up. In Perry County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
Police ask if your vehicle breaks down, be sure to leave them a note or give them a call if a mechanic is on the way to fix it. A silver alert was issued this morning for a Mingo County, West Virginia man. West Virginia State Police say 71-year-old Jimmy Murphy went missing last night around 9 o'clock. He was last seen in the area of Route 49. Police say Murphy went four-wheeler riding and did not come back. Search crews found the four-wheeler but have not located Murphy. Murphy has blue eyes and weighs 200 pounds. He was wearing camouflage pants, a flannel jacket, a t-shirt, and boots. Police say he has health issues. If you have any information, you should call police at 1-304-792-7200. President Trump railed against Robert Mueller one day after the special counsel spoke about his investigation into Russian interference in the presidential election for the first time. Yesterday, Mueller made it clear he did not exonerate the president. The president insists there was no collusion and no obstruction, and he walked back a tweet from this morning where he says Russia helped him get elected.
I got me elected. Russia didn't help me at all.
But Democrats are still divided on impeachment. The one thing they do agree on is Mueller should testify before Congress about his report. But Mueller said yesterday his report speaks for itself and there is no reason for him to testify. President Trump denies any involvement in a directive to keep the naval destroyer USS John McCain out of his sight during a trip to Japan over the weekend. CBS News confirmed an email to Navy and Air Force officials ordering the action. A tarp was placed over the ship last Friday, but removed on Saturday when President Trump arrived in Japan. The president publicly feuded with McCain, even at one point mocking his military service. The late senator's daughter, The View co-host Meghan McCain, fired back.
It's impossible to go through the grief process when my father, who's been dead 10 months, is constantly in the news cycle because the president is so obsessed with the fact that he's never going to be a great man like he was.
A commander told the Associated Press all ships remained in normal configuration and were visible from the USS Wasp, where the president visited sailors this past weekend. The acting defense secretary has asked his chief of staff to look into the matter. Former Mississippi Republican Senator Thad Cochran died this morning. Cochran resigned from the Senate last April due to health issues. He was first elected to Congress in 1972. A cause of death was not disclosed. His longtime spokesman says services are still pending. Cochran was 81. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Thursday afternoon. The Dow closes up today more than 43 points. The man who bought Sears is trying to avoid paying the $43 million in severance that he promised to employees who lost their jobs during the past year. Eddie Lampert was formerly the chairman and CEO of Sears Holdings and purchased what was left of the bankrupt company in February. His attorneys argue Sears has fallen short on its obligations to Lampert and he does not have to make the severance payments. Sears Holdings disputed that assertion in a motion filed in court on Tuesday. Straight ahead on First at 4, volunteers from Kentucky are helping people in Dayton, Ohio recover from devastating storm damage. You'll hear what's behind their motivation.
And that cold front will continue to move through the mountains and bring more showers and storms into the area. We'll break down that full forecast in just a few short minutes.